Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, today I am extremely honored to interview the exceptional Professor Muhammad Yunus, a true national honor and a beacon of hope for our humanity. With his tireless efforts to eradicate poverty, protect the environment, and promote social welfare, Professor Yunus has earned the prestigious titles of the 2006 Nobel Peace Laureate and the 2020 Olympic Laurel. His innovative initiatives have helped countless individuals escape the grasp of poverty, and his visionary leadership has ignited a global movement towards a more equitable world and a greener world. So without any further ado, Assalamu alaikum, Professor Muhammad Yunus.
Wa alaikum assalam, Maryam. Good to see you again.
Alhamdulillah, it's my honor. I'm so happy to meet you again. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Alhamdulillah. So I'd like to ask you just a few questions today.
Go ahead.
Alhamdulillah, you have a significant impact worldwide through your contribution to the humanity and the development sector. So would you please tell or share with us a story of an achievement that you feel is the most important to you?
Well, it began with this very insignificant thing. I had no idea what this would be. At that time, I was not thinking about making impact on any large number of people, just one or two, three or four. That's kind of thing we're looking for. So what I did, I started lending money to people in the village who needed money desperately and becoming victims of loan sharks. So I was trying to protect them from the loan shark by lending them the money. So that's how it began, and it became very popular. And it grew bigger and bigger. Ultimately, we created a little bank for the village. We called it Village Bank or Grameen Bank. And then it kept expanding, and it became a nationwide bank. Millions and millions of poor women got tiny little loans from the bank and start their own business. So what started a small initiative, little step, but gradually grew, and because it was needed, people needed money desperately, and we supported them. So it led to many other things. It's challenged the whole banking system. We talked about very fundamental issues of economic ideas and framework. We said people are not just here to do business to make money. They can create business to solve problems. Which we called it later on social business. So the whole concept of social business came out of it, because you can do business not just for making money, dedicated entirely in solving problems. So that's another thing. Entrepreneurship became a very important thing. Then along the way, we also did something which became known as social business, business to help people and continue this expanding in creating many different kinds of business in healthcare, in any problem that we see, water, housing, you name it. So that's how one thing led to another, and we continue to talk about challenging the whole big problems of the world, and then create a world of 3 zeros: zero net carbon emission, zero wealth concentration, and zero unemployment. So that's how it went.
Alhamdulillah, that's amazing how just a small initiative had grew so much and led to so many amazing achievements, alhamdulillah. So I know that the Olympic Laurel is one of the top awards in the sports field, and I want to congratulate you on achieving the 2020 Olympic Laurel. And I know that most of your influential works are in the field of social business, as you just mentioned, but I was really fascinated to see how you expanded your influence into the realm of sports and many other fields. So can you please share with us your journey on expanding your influence, and give us some advice or some insight on how we can all become an all-rounder in multiple areas of expertise?
So you start in one, and then you look for something, and you see many more things which you didn't expect to see, and it kind of tickles your mind. You want to do something more. And that's what happens when we moved into sports area. I'm not a sports person. I'm not familiar with many of the things in the sports world. But one thing came to my mind, that sports is a big power, but that power is not used for social purposes. It's used for commercial purposes. It's used for entertainment purposes, not for social purposes. So I was thinking, why don't we open up the door for using the power of sports into social business, into social purposes? And then I started talking about it. I said there are problems within the sports world itself, because if you want to be a sports person, successful sports person, you work very hard to go to the top, but very few make it to the top. Most of the time, most of the people remain close to the top or in the middle or in the bottom level and so on. And they are very frustrated because they never made it. And their life is a rather miserable life. So we said, this is a problem. Why don't we solve this problem by social business? So we created a social business idea for solving the problem of the sports world at the bottom level of the sports career and so on. And then I started saying, not only that, solve the problem of the sports people, you can also solve the other people by making big sports event into social business event. And started talking about Olympic as a social business, transforming the whole Olympic, not only for the sports entertainment of the sports and so on, but also for contributing permanently in changing the life of the people where these events are taking place. And we started talking about how to design an Olympic as a social business. And France loved it. France wanted to make their candidature based on social business Olympic. And that idea was proposed to International Olympic Committee, and Olympic Committee loved it. So now the France is having this Olympic coming up, the Summer Olympic in 2024. Paris 2024 is being designed and getting ready to make it a social business Olympic. So this is how it came, and sports people love these ideas, and the International Olympic Committee, IOC, gave me the Olympic Laureate for diverting or attracting their attention into this direction. So that's how they gave the Olympic Laureate, and I'm very happy about it. I'm very proud of it.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for this insight, and I'm pretty sure it's very helpful for so many people. I know that the 3-0 Club initiative has been expanding globally, and alhamdulillah, thanks to your tremendous support for all the youth, we have reached this initiative has reached the milestone of over 1,000 3-0 clubs, which is great, alhamdulillah, so I want to congratulate you on that as well.
I'm very, very happy that young people responded to that very warmly. Now there are 3-0 clubs, more than 1,000 or 1,300 clubs actually throughout the world, and it's becoming more and more as we go along. And we see that young people like that idea. The idea is a very simple one. We wanted to make the biggest problem of the planet and make it into little tiny little bits so that everybody can share in solving that. If everybody solves a tiny bit of that problem, and since we are lots and lots of people around us, we can solve the big problem. The big problem is the problem of climate, the threats that we have in the climate, global warming. So how to address this global warming? How to address the problem of wealth concentration? How to address the problem of massive unemployment created by artificial intelligence and everything else? So we started saying that we have to undo everything that we have done. These are the results of the bad thinking, bad actions that we have undertaken over the years. So we have to undo all these things and go in the right direction. So I started talking about creating a world of 3 zeros and undo all the problems that we have. So we said we have to build everything in a way that we no more contribute to the global warming, no more contribute to the wealth concentration, no more contribute to unemployment. Then once we do that, we can bring all these things to zero. So I started talking about creating a world of 3 zeros. 0 wealth concentration, 0 net carbon emission, and 0 unemployment. So this is how we want to do that. And we started talking about young people is the big power in the whole world. They're the most powerful generation in the planet. So they can use their amazing power of technology, amazing power of their creativity to undo all the bad things that we have been doing to the planet. setting this planet in a suicidal path. So we want to undo that path and create a new path to go in the right direction so that it becomes a world of 3 zeros. And then we said, why don't we create a 3-0 club? Make it very small thing so that it doesn't threaten everybody that, oh my God, it's so big that I cannot do anything. So I said, don't worry about the big thing, just turn into a small thing. Create a club, 3-0 club, 5 young people get together and create this club to make sure that you personally do not contribute to these problems. After all, human beings together have contributed to all these problems, and we make it a mega problem. So if you don't contribute to this problem, finally this problem will disappear, because we will cut down all the past problems that we have created in the process. So we said, why don't we become a 3-0 persons? So I will not contribute to global warming. I will not contribute to wealth concentration. I will not contribute to unemployment. So I become a 3-0 person. So if all the 5 people become 3-0 person, then we have the first step towards creating a 3-0 world. If you keep on doing it, every young person become a 3-0 person, whole world will become a 3-0 world. That's the day. And young people love that. And that's why 3-0 clubs are expanding. It's very easy. You can start with 0 waste. I will not throw away everything that I possess. I will make sure I recycle it. I will not buy anything which I don't need, so that I don't create another trash for the world. I will not contribute to global warming by using plastic. Plastic is a danger for the planet. So gradually I'll be 0 plastic person. So 0 waste, I will not throw away anything. It's a domestic waste, there's a food waste, there's agricultural waste, there's a garment waste, and all these things. So I'll bring it to 0 and recycle them, redo them, repurpose them, so that the world becomes a 3-0 world. So that's the direction. That's how the 3-0 clubs are working for, and they're very excited about it. Each 3-0 club has a very, very creative idea how to take the steps. Each step can be a very small step. All you have to do every day as you do things, ask yourself, am I contributing to global warming and all these terrible things happening to the world? And I stopped there and I said, I'm not using plastic. I will, if I use it, I will make sure I reuse it, make it, recycle it, and make sure that it doesn't become a waste. I will always keep it in the circular economy and so on. And all my clothes, all my possessions, all my things that I use and buy, all my food, I'll not go anything into waste. So that's how everybody can do that kind of thing. So, if you make it in a large number of young people, the whole world will be free from all these problems, and we'll create a 3-0 world.
Thank you so much. And I also am part of the 3-0 club, so I really love the idea, and alhamdulillah, that's great to hear like how it started and the inspiration behind it. So thank you.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you very much for doing that. And explain to your followers that how it is done, how excited you are doing that.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, through the club I actually led an initiative to have a competition for my followers where they planted 1,000 trees worldwide, and the response was great, alhamdulillah. So it's very inspiring. 3-0 initiative is very inspiring for the youth of today.
Okay. Thank you.
So in light of a significant impact of previous human activities on the world, how can we foster collective responsibility to address environmental and social challenges like global warming and frequent natural disasters and so on?
It's very simple. It's always remember, all big things start with this tiny little step. So we have to take the tiny little step. That's the taking responsibility. If you say it's too big, I'm not fit for that, I'm too small, I cannot do that, that's not a right thinking. Right thinking is, it may be small, but I can take this small little thing and make my contribution. My contribution may be small, but if you're together, so many of us doing the small thing, it becomes a big thing. That's the whole idea. So our personal responsibility leads to creating a massive result in total. So I would say we should feel that all the problems, that all the mess we have done to the planet is because we didn't take care of our planet carefully. we treated it very badly, and we created all the massive problem to destroy this planet, destroy the environment, and whatever we have done in the past. So we want to get rid of that. Always remember that all the bad things that we talk about environment and everything is a human creation. It's not a creation of the planet, a creation of the nature. Nature is always very protective of the planet and so on. So we shouldn't, there's no room for blaming the planet, blaming the nature for doing that. It's all our responsibility. We have to take the responsibility. I may be small, I may be a small person, but I can do small things. If we all do the small things, big things will be getting done. So that is the real collective responsibility. Collective responsibility starts with personal responsibility. Remember that. And we take this personal responsibility. If I take that responsibility, you take that responsibility, and everybody I know that takes the responsibility, the problem is over. So that's the direction we have to take, and that's what 3-0 Club encourages us to do that. And 3-0 Club helps you to coordinate with the reaching out to other clubs so that I feel encouraged, or I inspire them by my work, tell them how I'm doing it, and they will learn something, and I'll learn something from them. So it's mutually encourages to get things done. And over time, we'll see all this big problem will disappear because we took the first step. And that's the 3-0 Club taking the first step.
Thank you so much. I think this is an extremely important message, to take the first step as the youth. So, kind of related to this question, but as the youth of today, we are always seeking like new and better opportunities to make a positive impact on the world. So how can we actively participate and kind of sustain the enthusiasm through the 3-0 initiative?
Yes, first to remember that you are not alone. Your friend is thinking the same way. So just reach out to your friend and say, oh, we're together, two of us can do something. And if two of you are doing that, you find a third person who is inspired by what you are doing, and he or she wants to join in and take that path. So this is how it all starts. Always remember, all the biggest thing that you can think about, start with a tiny, tiny little step. So take that small step. That will be the most important thing. And also rely on your creativity, your imagination. If you start imagining the thing that you want to do, it will encourage you to do that and finally make it successful. Imagination become the reality very soon. If you have the right kind of imagination, you continue to pursue that, and gradually you make it happen. If you always remember, if you imagine, it will happen. If you don't imagine, it will never happen. So imagination is a big power. So hold on to it. Imagine it. Don't be afraid to think big. Don't be afraid to imagine big things. Because if you imagine big things, all these big things will happen, because this will inspire you and your friends and everybody around you, and your work can inspire the second round and third round of other young people, and make a whole big initiative throughout the world. And that's the direction we want to go. So imagine and act, and don't give up.
Thank you so much. That's a very powerful message. So reflecting on the early days of your work, we are very curious to know about your vision of the world in 2023. Has it aligned with the world that we find ourselves in today? And also, we also would love to know how you imagine the world to be like in 2050 in terms of the 3-0 world.
Yeah, this is it. So if you can think about, imagine the 3-0 world in 2050, you finish the job by 2050, it will be done, because that's what you wanted to achieve that goal. So we have this few years left to reach the 2050, but our power of our youth, power of our technology, power of our dedication and commitment will make that happen, because we reached out to millions and millions and billions of young people. There's more young people on the planet than beyond the age group of young people. So that's a big part. You have 8 billion people on this planet, and most of them are young people. and young people are becoming larger and larger proportion of the total population. So it's not a small thing we are talking about. So don't think that, oh, we are so small, how can we do that? You are big. You are in terms of billions of people. And then on top of it, you have the creative power. You are free from old thinking. So get rid of the old thinking. You have a new thinking. You are committed to create a world of 3.0. Say you suggested 2050. Let's make it sure we achieve it by 2050. If we imagine that we will do that and we'll work towards it, we'll make it happen. So it's a question of making up our mind. Nothing is impossible for human being. Only we have to do is to make up our mind. If we make up our mind, it will happen. So let's proceed in that direction.
Thank you so much. And one last question. Professor Yunus, do you have any message you would like to give to all of my followers who are watching now?
Yes, indeed. This is your world. World belongs to you, to the young people of your age group. That's what the world is all about. So don't worry about what the world people or older people are telling you. You make up your mind what you want to do. That's very important, because sometimes we are misled by old thinking, old ideas, old way of doing things, and shy away from the things because it was never got done. If it never got done, that gives you an opportunity to get it done. So it's not to scare you that it cannot be done, it's to inspire you to get it done. So you make up your mind with a great determination that we are going to create the world of 3.0s, and we'll make it happen. If you decide on that, it will happen, and it will happen very fast. So make up your mind. That's the most important thing. Again, imagine and make up your mind to get it done.
Thank you so much. These are all very, very powerful messages, and I really am so honored to talk to you, and thank you so much for answering all my questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Maryam, for being with us.